Welcome back to the Finding Frequency podcast, everyone. In this episode, we're excited to have Dayton Simenz back. Dayton, as you all know, is the head of research and development here at Frequency. And today we're going to delve into the next badge in our series, which is Circadian Health. So, Dayton, why don't we start with explaining to us what Circadian Health is?
Yeah.
And maybe tell us why it's important to our overall kind of well-being and how we feel.
Totally. So circadian health, you can think about it as your body's biological clock. We evolved to live on schedules. We evolved waking up to the sun, going to sleep after the sun went down, moon came up. We've historically eaten at similar times. We've hunted at similar times. We've rested at similar times. And that has all changed recently, or at least our environment has become out of sync for our body's expectations in that arena. And that process is important because those signals that we get from our environment, the sun rising, the sun setting, the change in the light color throughout the day, change in temperature, it factors into our body's hormonal response. So our hormones are impacted by those factors in the environment. And those hormones can affect things like wake up time. So waking up, feeling more alert. They can affect going to sleep, sleeping well, falling asleep quickly and staying asleep. They can affect eating times. So times that you're more prone to digest. You can take it into consideration for your productivity. Because if you're operating on a consistent circadian schedule, you can expect a little dip around 1 or 2 p.m. And you can expect a strong morning, and you can expect kind of an afternoon, evening that starts to slow down as the sun starts to get down to what we would probably now call golden hour, just because golden hour, that time of dawn, it's giving us a different color of light than the morning is. And our eyes are sensitive enough to tell that. So circadian rhythm, just to tone it back down, it's our body's clock. And our body's clock is set by certain cues in the environment. So not only
Wake up and go to sleep time.
Are you waking up at the same time? Are you going to sleep at the same time? Meal timing is another big one. Because like I said, it's somewhat involved in digestion. So I think those are the big ones. Or they are the big ones.
So timing of meals, timing of wake and sleep.
Yeah.
Temperature and quality of light.
Yes. And temperature of the environment.
Okay.
Because
actual temperature. Okay.
Yes. So
if we get all those things right, we get the right amount of light, we go to sleep at the right time, quote unquote, and maybe let's talk about what the right time is. I'm sure it's different for everybody, but
sure.
Maybe what I heard you say is consistency is really important. So maybe we go to sleep and wake up around the same time. And we eat maybe around the same time. We do all those things right. How does that change the way we feel or the way our circadian system is operating?
Yeah. It changes more than just your circadian system. I'd say it impacts your entire hormonal system. And our hormones, they affect every part of our experience. Those are the core messengers of kind of data from different parts of our body.
Okay.
If we have a healthy hormonal system, we're just not going to feel like we're fighting against our body.
So really the circadian system impacts hormones.
Yeah.
And that's the primary lever which, kind of transfers or transmits how we're feeling in the body.
I think that's
So
that's correct.
And this is intuitive to some degree. Again, part of the great thing about these sessions is we bring health to real estate.
Yeah.
So the one-on-one class, and so the one-on-one class is it makes intuitive sense in that when I go to sleep and wake up around the same time, when I'm eating well, when I'm getting really good natural light, I've got my Verilux happy light here.
Right.
When I am doing all of those things, I feel better.
Yeah.
And so
there's science there. If you wake up around the same time, your body knows to kind of up your serotonin levels around that wake up time. You're going to wake up easier. If you go to bed around the same time, your body's going to know, oh, this is about the time that he's going to bed. So let's feed Peter a little bit of melatonin straight from the source. And that's going to have you sleeping well consistently. Just the way that, you see a dog fall asleep at night. It doesn't feel like they're wrestling with anything. And they're just going with the flow. We're trying to do the same thing. And kind of the cue there that's important is it's those points that you see light throughout the day. So another way that we can kind of reinforce those signals is by minimizing the amount of light, particularly blue light, in the environment.
And we have a lot of blue light on our phones.
Yeah, phones,
right.
TVs, most indoor lights, they don't adjust throughout the day. So most people are bombarded with signals that it's noon at 10 p.m. And that gets confusing.
So if we're looking at our phones or TVs or computer screens, that light is telling us, wake up, wake up, wake up, or stay awake.
Yeah, exactly.
But what our circadian system wants is to start shutting things down and go to sleep.
Right.
And so this is where, blue light blocking glasses, you and I both wear those at times when necessary. But another thing we just started putting in are these red lights.
Yeah.
So you don't have to turn on the lights. Maybe let's talk a little bit about those.
Yeah, for sure. Because I think the screens are the really obvious one that people think of when they think blue light. But just as a reminder, the morning sun contains a lot of blue light. Like the visibility of the color blue is not necessarily the determinant. So unfortunately, if you're going into night mode on your phone, odds are pretty high that it doesn't work that well. But what you can do is just be a little more intentional about avoiding standard lighting solutions. So yeah, those red light night lights are really strong. If you can put them not overhead, but kind of on the walls or down by footpaths, that's a boost also. And yeah, so that's really positive. I think another one is being really wary of the lights that you have in different environments, because I know some people, it might take a bit of adjustment, but I think it's really worth altering your bathroom routine so that you can accomplish what you need to accomplish with that minimum amount of light. Because tons of people, they'll, right before bed, wash their face. That's a really common recommendation. And for your skin health, it's smart. But most people, to do that, will want the visibility of their bright light in their bathroom. Right. They're just going to be shining this bright light in their eyes before they want to go to sleep. And that's when you can send mixed signals.